Hey everybody, welcome back for war number 5 of season 27. I'm fighting for the alliance SAS, and for this war we are matched up against MIBR, also known as Beta in Brazil. They are a routine masters alliance. We faced them last season. I believe we walked away with the W, but we know they're good alliance, so we're gonna have to play clean here, hopefully build off our really strong performance in war 4. But here's what we have in front of us. We have another compact war with 4 fights. We are starting off on path 6, where we have an Aegon with aggression, fury, strike back, super straightforward, followed by a Tigra with power focus 1 and power alternator, and then we're hopping over onto path 9 with 2 more complex fights than the first section, with a Magneto on window of opportunity stun with one eye open, and our war ends with a Modok on window of opportunity stun and empowered immunity. So this is the team we're bringing in. We're bringing in Archangel. He's going to take on the first 2 fights in section 1, the Aegon and the Tigra. He's at rank 3, Sig level 20. We get to bring in my 6-star Captain America Infinity War. He is freshly ranked 3 and freshly Sig 200. He's going to take on the Magneto, and then we're bringing in Magneto to take on Modok at the end of our war on node 45. So here's our first fight, node 3, aggression, fury, strike back. There's an Aegon, and this fight is super straightforward. Just have to not scrub it up, get a few neurotoxins, and try and close it out. Hopefully we get some good RNG off the bat, and then we can kind of just let the neurotoxins do most of the work without having to worry about the aggression, fury passives. That's a pretty good start. We get 2 bleeds off our first parry, and now we're in the zone where every block is going to be a poison. Just 1 neurotoxin off the start, but you can see he's already starting to melt, and this fight's pretty much over. We have enough neurotoxins to prevent any furies from building up, and he's down in 15 hits. I popped a combat regen boost because I was able to take the Tigra fight right after, and since it was Archangel running it back, figured be a good call here to save some potions potentially. I don't know if I would have needed it right after the Aegon fight. That's all good. Here's the second fight, node 12, Tigra on power focus 1 and power alternator. Same kind of matchup, just have to make sure we land a bunch of Neuros and let that go to work. But with Tigra, obviously she's a little bit of a more complex defender than Aegon. Just have to be mindful of her unblockable special 1, which will be unblockable if I have enough space between myself and her. Power alternator isn't that big of a deal. I shouldn't be gaining that much power throughout this fight, and with power focus 1, she's pretty much only going to be able to throw that special 1. So decently slow start here. We haven't stuck a Neuro, but we have a bunch of poisons stacked on now, and we should be able to roll. So she goes unblockable. Just dash out of that second hit. And now we have a bunch of Neuros on, and there I forgot about the spacing, and she threw her special 1, which is unblockable right off the bat. Ended up eating a hit, but that's okay. The rupture isn't ticking for too much. It does take about 1/3 of my health, but this fight's almost over, and Archangel's done for the war. So all in all, that's all good. Not the cleanest start to the war, but that's our halfway point. We are going to be hopping over to path 9 in section 2. This is node 35, window of opportunity stun and 1 eye open. We're using Captain America Infinity War here. Just have to keep in mind, I'll try and parry the special 1 projectile. That's an easy way for us to get kinetic charges, and just to keep an eye on the kinetic charges, so I'm always punishing his heavy while I have 1 up. And just don't parry. Whatever you do, don't parry stun, because that's how you die. That's pretty much the only way that you die in this fight. So here we go. I'm gonna hold block just to hope that I gain a bunch of charges, get our first opening, and we're already at 5 kinetic charges. That's a really good start, and that's gonna be the rhythm of the fight here. The unstoppable does go on cooldown, but I wasn't really paying attention to that. I was mostly keeping an eye on my own kinetic charges, and as well as taking a look at the altitude charges. So you'll see each hit on my block is going to be doing a small amount of energy damage, but not much. You can see we are definitely in the lead here. Don't have to worry about the chip damage. This is Cap's only war here. So there we go. I accidentally parry just out of pure reflex. So that's a pretty bad mistake. The bleed ticks me down for just over or just under half of my health. So I gotta play clean for the rest of the way. I don't think I have any other mistakes to give. We get to our first special 3, charge the heavy to make sure we get that passive fury bonus, and this is gonna do a pretty big chunk of damage, and that does a good job of giving us the lead here. So just have to make sure I don't parry stun whatever I do. That is the only way that I could lose the fight in this point. So I'm just gonna be baiting out the special 1. Bait a heavy, and that should be enough to close the gap. And I'm not going to throw my special 2 here, just with the stun shenanigans off of the special 2. I don't want to risk dying here, especially when I've regained control of the fight. There's really no reason that I should lose this at this point. So looks like baiting out another special 1, get the parry. We have enough kinetic charges. We're in a good spot here. If we can close out to our special 3, that'll finish it for sure. There we go. Charge the heavy just for that extra little bit. And yeah, that puts him to 0. So not the cleanest fight. I was pretty rattled at myself that I completely forgot to not parry stun in the heat of the moment. And I'm just really thankful that it didn't cost me the fight. So here's a much more straightforward fight. Magneto versus Modok on node 45. Window of opportunity, stun, and empowered immunity. Magneto completely bypasses Modok's auto block mechanics, so it's kind of just a normal fight. Except for the first little bit, because I can't parry at the start because he's going to start immune to stun with that stun reflection. But magnetism is most likely going to shut it down when it comes back from cooldown, so I got to keep an eye out for that. If that timer doesn't come back, I'm good to go to just parry heavy the rest of the way, charge up to a special 3, and win the fight from there. So it's all about not messing up at the absolute starts, just making sure that I don't parry stun him. We'll work with a few intercepts just to push him against the wall, push him to a special 1. It's super easy to dex and punish. So, and he'll always throw it when you have almost the maximum amount of space between the two of you. So the stun reflection timer is completely off right now, so I am free to parry heavy, and it does not look like it's coming back. So this fight essentially has no nodes, and is a piece of cake with Magneto. You can see we're just gonna slowly work our way up to our special 3. We don't really have to worry about the altitude charges. We're at a ton of health, and he is just about to go under halfway, and a special 3 should be enough as long as I charge enough prowesses. There I didn't feel like my spacing was correct, so I didn't want to dex it. I probably would have gotten clipped at the end, so I just block it. Doesn't really matter. We are almost out of the fight. I'm going to have to charge my heavy twice here. We'll hit him with another heavy just to maximize the prowess, and this fight should be over. We don't even have to worry about the bleeds here. It's definitely more than enough damage with over 30 prowess. And that's our 4th fight. Really good to end off our war with a clean one, especially with the 2 not so clean ones in the middle versus the Tigra. Myself getting clipped by that special 1 and then accidentally parrying against Magneto. Those are both mistakes that definitely shouldn't happen, and I'm glad I didn't have to pay a heavy price. So I'm recording this fairly late at night here. The war is probably 2/3 done. We are up 4-2, but there's definitely still a little bit to go, so it's looking good. Hopefully we can close out. Maybe they die a few more times to make it easier on us, but who knows. But I'll make sure to update that in the description. Thanks for stopping by. Catch you at War 6.